How's it going? I'm Travis, the Weekend Golf Guy, and welcome to the Weekend Golf Guy. I'm playing live FSX 2020, which is a product by Foresight Sports. Of course, we're using our Foresight Sports GC Quad launch monitor, the same launch monitor that several of the pros on tour, both LIV and PGA are playing on. You've got Bryson DeChambeau and many others who use this kind of launch monitor. And we're playing the native FSX software, which you can see behind us here, and we've never played it live. To be honest, I've only played 3 holes on it ever because I typically play E6 Connect TGC 2019 or GSPro. So this will be our first time playing it. Some disadvantages to this software is there is no online player-to-player like you've seen us do with Jesse B and others on our previous live streams. So I won't be playing anyone live today. I'm just going to be playing the course. You're going to see our live scoring provided by indoorgolf.club. Meet and compete with other indoor golfers by joining www.indoorgolf.club, totally free, and you get to play in live tournaments, including FSX 2020. You play on your own computer, post your score, see how you rank in the leaderboard at the end of the week. All right, we're going to go through some of the UI stuff here. I'm going to go hit a couple shots on the range. You'll be able to see the range that they have on FSX 2020, which is slightly different than GSPro, TGC 2019, and E6 Connect, and we'll talk about those differences in just a second. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over our camera here. If you haven't seen what we do before, this is what we have. We've got 3 cameras set up so you can see all the different angles. And yeah, let's just jump right into it here. So the first thing that you got to do is you've got to set up your range by going to improve. So you have 3 options: play, compete, and improve. We're going to select improve, and you can see they have 5 different options here. You can create a new session. You can go to your last play. You can see I tried out Broken Tree earlier, just loaded the course and made sure everything was okay. Random play, know your numbers, which is like a gap analysis, and then Foresight range, and that's what we're going to go to. You can see everything is set up here for us, and it all looks fine. I'm going to go ahead and click start. Now, it automatically launches us at 374 yards. There's no way that we can get there, so I'm going to drop this caret down and select the yardage that I want. The first thing you'll notice is that I don't have a slider like I do on GSPro, where I can pick my exact number to a individual yard. I have to go by increments of 15, it looks like, and 10 when you get above 100, so 100 yards. And we'll just go to 75 yards to get a few shots in. It's already got me lined up at my target. I've got my ball down on the ground. I'm going to grab a 56-degree wedge here, and we're going to hit a couple shots just so you can see what the physics are like in the ball flight. It's very similar, I'd say, to GSPro in the way that it operates. Let's just take a shot here. So there we go. Ooh, looks like it almost hit the flag. And so now the difference here, it did hit the flag, so that's pretty cool. And it went 13 feet. So I hit it 71 yards, I hit the flag, and it went 13 feet. One cool thing about FSX is that it gives me all of my data that comes directly from the GC Quad, and it goes pretty fast, but you can pause that at any point in time. And I've got all of my different numbers up on the left-hand side. It tells me my ball speed with my 56-degree wedge, gives me my launch angle. If I pushed or pulled it, looks like I pulled it 1 degree left, but I had some right spin on it, so it came back directly online. It says I was offline 2.4 degrees left according to my last shot, and my total distance was 71 yards. All right, here we go. That was a little light. You can see that the tracer changed color. My first shot was yellow. My next shot was green. And again, it's going to go through all these statistics. That was 7 feet from the pin that time. So about half our first one. And you can see all of our different numbers compared to each other. Of course, I can go and compare and export these in the upper right-hand corner. If you saw it flash very quickly, I'm able to export this to like an Excel or CV file, and then I can look at these numbers all I want. This is a wonderful tool if you're trying to dial in those numbers, you need to get a club bent, or you feel like you hit your 4-iron and your 5-wood the same distance like I do. This will tell you just by using the software, which is great. The one thing that I do like about E6 Connect that isn't offered on FSX 2020 is the different types of ranges. They have the small targets, they have the large targets, they have left and right, and then they have flat driving ranges. And I think that's a real advantage of E6 Connect is the different driving ranges that they have. And FSX 2020 does not have that. Now, there is a new software out called FSX Play. And from what I've read online in the forums is it's still pretty buggy and it's not all worked out, but the graphics are improved and the UI is really nice is what I hear. I don't have FSX Play, but I barely use FSX 2020, so I don't think there's any need for me to get that one at this time. All right, so we've got a couple shots under our belt. Let's go ahead and load our course and get right to it. If you're joining us, leave a comment in the comment section. We will be checking them periodically. And I hope all is good with everybody. Let's rock and roll here. All right. So to exit the range, you click in the upper right-hand corner, just like you do for most softwares except for E6. You click on the E6 icon, and you're going to click exit, and it's going to say, do you want to confirm going back to the main menu? You click OK. And now we just go to play. And we're going to do a new game. We're going to select Broken Tree. And we can go to the conditions and set things up here. So the green speed, it's interesting, it doesn't tell you a stimp, it just kind of tells you fast or slow. But when you go in and play, I think you can change this to an actual number. Like on GSPro, you can set it to 10, 11, 12, 13 stimp, which is more relatable to the player outdoors. This just gives you slow to fast. We're going to put it a little bit towards fast. Everything else seems to look okay. We're going to play with no wind, keep everything sea level. Even though I think Broken Tree in real life, at least there is a Broken Tree in Colorado. I don't know where this one is, if it's a mimic of that course or it is a fantasy course. Let's go into the rules here. All right, sorry about that. It looks like we got kicked out. It went to a different screen for some reason. And I don't really know what happened there, so my apologies. Yeah, it looks like I got kicked out of what I was talking about. We set up our Broken Tree live golf here, and we're on the first tee. I went through all the different menu options while setting up this course, and what I was talking about, since it switched, and I'm not sure exactly when the screen switched, was about FSX Live. FSX Live is a back-end web-based system where I can go and see all of my different shots, everything from the range session to my gap analysis, even my in-round statistics. I think that's a big advantage of FSX 2020 of having that back-end system. E6 Connect also has it, but admittedly, the graphics and the statistics in there are a little bit sketchy, and I wouldn't call them something I would rely on to improve my game. Whereas FSX 2020 is absolutely something I would use. In GSPro, I don't know of any backend system that they have, but they may have it as well. I've never looked into it. So if you do know about that, comment in the comments section about any kind of backend system that FSX has. Of course, leave a comment. I see Jesse B. You are talking about different ranges being built. That's awesome to hear. That is something that's really great about GSPro software, is there's a community of people, oh my goodness, that's touchy, community of people who are building out that software. So we're gonna go right about here, and it's very touchy. So if I just click somewhere, you don't wanna click and drag because it really drags you over. All right, we're gonna try and clear those trees with the driver. Hopefully we stay out of trouble. And this looks really narrow and tree filled. So let's rock and roll. You can see on this software, it tells us if the ball is in the zone or not. The GC Quad has 4 quadrascopic cameras that look at an area, and it's looking for that ball. It saw it, so we're ready to hit. A little bit of a draw to that. Hopefully it clears that stuff. Oh, it's in the water. There's a penalty area there. So we are going to take a drop because I don't want to do that twice, and let's see what happens. It's going to take us through all of our different stats while we, this might be good because it's slowing us down here. So the drop area, it's going to take us back. This is pretty interesting. And I think we can move this over here laterally, and we'll click drop. Okay. So we're just going to aim right out here since it's a par 5, and I'm going to hit like a little 7-iron, knock it down underneath limbs, hopefully. There we go. It's looking for the ball. It's found it. Put this in the back of our stance. Oh no. Wow. That's tough. I still think, wow, we almost went back in the water there. But I think we should be in the fairway now, so we better figure this out pretty quickly. All right, we have 317 yards to the pin. I'm gonna hit a 3-wood because there's not a lot of trouble up there. There we go. Felt pretty good. Yep, not bad. So we're gonna have a wedge in. Lots of elevation change. We got a good look here. It's gonna be interesting to see how this reacts on the green. There's my shot dispersion. That circle is getting bigger and bigger. All right, so we've got 29 yards to the pin. I don't think we need to land it a full 29 yards. I think if we just hit it about 20 yards or so, it should maybe roll out maybe a little more than that, 22 yards. So that was 24 yards. And it was within the gimme circle, 5.5 feet. So it gave it to us. You saw that gimme there, which is great. And let's see what we had overall. Did we save par? Hard to tell. It's +1, so we had a bogey there. That's not bad after hitting it into the water, to be honest. So that was a 6. And on to our next hole. Okay, so we want to be sure that we aim correctly here. Oof. Yeah, don't click and hold. You just have to click with this software, which is weird. I like to drag it around and be able to hold it, but it doesn't like that. Try this again. This says par 3, 223. We definitely don't need a driver. I think we need to hit a 5-wood here. And we don't want to hit, look at all those bunkers up there for a par 3. That's crazy. So we'll play right about there. 221. We've got a 5-wood. Let's see what happens. That's the wrong shot shape and it's crushed. Sounded like it hit the sand. It did. Hit one of those mini bunkers up there on the left-hand side, so we're gonna have 60 degrees left. Or excuse me, a 60-degree wedge left. It looks like we've got 24 yards. Doesn't tell me exactly what I'm in. Maybe I'm in the rough here. Yep, I'm not in the sand. I think it hit in the sand and bounced out. So I'm in the rough between the bunkers. And we are going to just try and fly this about, you know, I wonder to see what the grid does. And my whole screens keep switching without me choosing that. So I don't really know what's happening with the live stream here. It just keeps auto switching. And I don't know why, so please excuse the technical difficulties. We are going to, we're going to be hitting here 24 yards. I wanted to see what the grid was doing, but now it's got me frustrated with that switching the camera position for us. 24 yards, we're going to hit it about 20. Man, I do not know why this is switching all over the place for me, so I apologize that this is happening. I don't really know why it's doing that. Okay, listen, we're going to end this live stream. I'm going to reboot my software because it's auto switching on me for some reason. And then we'll be back live here in just a moment. So we'll keep it right here. I won't putt, and then we'll re-kick off a live stream and we'll go from there. All right, see you all in just a few minutes.